Whoa, I'm in a new apartment. Ah, it's so crazy. Oh my god, okay. So let's say that I really like beans, like a lot. Like I really, really like beans. Like so much that I buy a can every single day and I swallow the can whole. But what if I found out that the company that makes the beans that I love so much advocates for the destruction of the moon? They want it gone entirely. What do? I really like bean cans, but I also really like the moon. Like, I like tides, for one, and I saw that episode of Avatar one time, and that shit was fucked up, so I don't want to go there. This is a question of ethical consumerism. Am I using my money to support a company whose values I disagree with? I think everyone pretty much gets this for, like, goods, right? But what if we want to be ethical consumers on YouTube? Well, what do you know? I've got some tips for you. So hop on, we're about to go through Ethical Consumerism for YouTube 101. Oh. So the very first thing we should keep in mind is that ethical consumerism is all about controlling demand. For goods, there's really two ways to do this. There's positive buying and boycotting. So boycotting, right, is when I just stop spending money on the company that wants to nuke the moon. Whereas positive buying is when I actively put my money into a company whose values I support. For instance, like a company that would want to colonize the moon instead of blowing it up. That would be cool. On YouTube, though, it's a little bit more complicated than just buying a bean can or not, right? Demand works differently here. We need to understand how demand works differently on YouTube before we can take control of it. So let's talk about that. On the right side of the page, what do you see? How did those get there? Out of the millions of videos on YouTube, how did they get there in that order? It's not arbitrary, first of all. It's actually some really complex math that gets it there. YouTube wants you to keep watching videos, so it'll generate a list using a really complex equation, an algorithm, right? To guess what you want to watch. And that algorithm uses a bunch of different types of data to come up with an answer to the question, what does this person want to watch? And I think that the key to having ethical viewership habits is to know what points of data in that algorithm we can manipulate ourselves. How can we take control of demand via the algorithm? So in that algorithm, right, there's some data that we can control and some that we can't. We can't control a video's metadata. That's the title, thumbnail, tags, and description. We can't do anything about those. That's what the creator does. But we can be aware of these things. So clickbait, right, has been a problem on YouTube for a really long time. Maybe not a problem, but like you used to see a lot of like boobs, and it would just be like, that's the thumbnail, it's just boobs, and they would get lots of clicks because men are awful. We don't see as many boobs anymore, but we do see brightly colored, like high contrast thumbnails with like all caps titles, right? This is something to keep in mind, I guess. Just like, are you clicking on something because you want to see it, or because it's bright and shiny? Just be aware, you know? We also can't change what we watched in the past. YouTube takes all this data in about what you watch, and then sometimes using the metadata of the videos you've watched, it will try and find similarly tagged, similarly described videos. So the one time that you watched a My Little Pony video and it keeps giving you My Little Pony videos but you don't want it to, you can't change that and it sucks. I'm sorry, got a little frustrated there because I keep getting those. It's awful. So we can't control that, right? What can we control though? We can control engagement. Engagement is a collective term used to describe the views, comments, favorites, likes, and dislikes of a video. Anytime someone does any of these things, right, a video becomes more likely to be put on that list. Oh, I'm so sorry. This includes dislikes, okay? I want to make this abundantly clear. If you dislike a video, you are helping the video. And it's so weird to me, right? Because I've always thought that, you know, a view, a comment, a favorite, you know, these things are like, yes, I support it. I am expressing demand for this thing, right? And then you dislike it, and it's like, no, I don't want to see that. It's dumb. For instance, a My Little Pony video. So we can also control watch time and session time. Watch time is the amount of time from when you press play to when you leave the video. Session time is the amount of time from when you press play to when you leave the website. Okay, so if you watch a video and then watch a bunch of videos after that, that means that video is generating more views total on the website, and YouTube loves that. Watch time is the reason that so many gaming videos do well, because they're like 20 minutes and people will watch the whole thing. Session time is the reason that you put like annotations at the end of the video saying last video, next video, because if people keep watching, especially if they keep watching your videos, then YouTube will promote you more. So now that we know these factors, right, let's go back to the idea of boycotting and positive buying as ways to control demand. If you don't want to support a YouTuber, what do? You don't watch them. Don't engage. Don't do anything. Just steer clear. So for instance, this musician named Ed Bland put up a video about how he was sad that he abused a person. And I'm not going to watch that video. I don't think that his return to a community that he abused is good. I don't like that he's doing that, and so I'm not going to watch it. And I don't think anybody else should either. Steer clear. As curious as you might be to find out, how awful it really is, just don't support him. Don't do it. On the flip side, the positive buying side, let's call it positive viewing from now on, okay? On the positive viewing side, you can do things like, comment, subscribe, all these different things to support talent that you like. I think that this positive viewing thing is really, really important for us. I hear, all these people, including myself, I've done it too, complain about, how the algorithm is bad or how it doesn't support them. And I'm just like, you can't complain about these really rigid elements of our ecosystem and not, even do anything to change them or take advantage of them. Like, don't complain about how tall a mountain is and then make no attempt to climb over the mountain. I say bore right through. We need to work within this ecosystem to reach our goals, right? We're not going to go anywhere far if we don't at least try to do that. Ethical viewership is not just about personal responsibility. It's about taking control of our communities to make them healthier, safer, better places to be. So I invite you to be critical, be aware, take control of what you can, and do not eat beans that will result in the destruction of the moon. Don't do it. Yeah. See ya! Hello, everybody. Another reminder that I'm hosting a panel called Young Tubers at VidCon this year. It's at 12:30 on Friday, and you should totally be there. It's gonna be super rad. I've done that. I've had like 4 takes. Like, not of this. I've had like 4 times burping in this whole... Whatever. Fuck it. Okay, I'm going. Bye.